Welcome back, guys. Okay, so Twitch didn't want this stream to happen, but we're going to make it happen. We're just going to get going with this. Silent Gaming versus Bench Players. Gerard Jam is back in the lobby. Jamifoos, what do we have to say about this game? Apart from Bench Players, the first team to make it through in the Challenger Cups. Not really having a good week last week, but I'm sure they had gone away. They had rested up, got ready, and basically coming into this week, I'm expecting them to smash it. They're going to put on their best performance against one of those toughest sides dropping down from Season 1 today, Silent Gaming.
I see you're very optimistic today. You're cheerful, optimistic for the team that most likely actually won't make it. Yes, Bench Players made it the first through the Challenger Cups, but last week's performance was anything but horrible for them. Really, the last round of matches in that 6 become 4 teams that challenge the existing teams in the Season 1 was not going well for them. That last round, anything could still change. It could still be the Pincha Colada or Lastic getting that last 4th place. And if Bench Players would have lost to their direct opponents, Pincha Colada, then it will be Pincha Colada. If Pincha Colada won and Lastic, Pincha Colada won and Lastic won, then they would fight based on the head-to-head matches and the goal difference. It could all have been still completely different. But Bench Players did get it through in the last round. 2 wins, 3 losses in total. So really, based on the last week's results, they were the weakest team, currently going against the strongest team in the league out of those remaining, or 5th to 8th place. So as much as I would like to be optimistic, Bacon, I'd still think it will be Silent Gaming and their squad, Synox, Italy, and Syntax. It should be an easy 3-0 for them.
Jam's sticking to the stats and the results. I'm going to stick to my heart and say there is still a hope in this for Bench Players. They can get going on the pitch. I've actually just told the players to join because we're ready for them now, of course. But I still believe Bench Players, they put all that effort in. If they just stick to their strategy, because they would have gone away looking at Silent Gaming and how they played, they can come out on top. But it is only them that can do it. We're here. Utopia Coliseum, one of the best maps. It's so vibrant on the pitch. These two teams will have to do everything they can. And well, Italy, he can do everything that looks fancy as well.
Yeah, see, I don't need the numbers. I can just point to Italy and say, this is why Silent Gaming will win. As Italy does a solo hand effort, dribble from a midfield, and Bench Players still caught a little bit from the initial rotation, only 9 seconds passed. After all, yeah, they get caught in their defense, not ready for Italy to put it straight where that ball belongs, in Bench Players' net.
All lingers about, but Paella gets that away. No challenge on that, no second man to come forward, so that's quite easy just to push on through for the Silent Gaming side. This was one big problem we saw from Bench Players last week, and that was just giving way too much time and space over to their opponents. They have to close down these balls a little bit quicker. Look, Synox giving so much time to work with that. Good defense, though, from Mazor. Syntax keeping it on. Karatash knocks off to the side. Little interception by Syntax will keep this in Silent Gaming's control. Syntax lines up Italy. Open net in front of him. And Synox is actually going to be able to get the goal. It wasn't Italy. That's my bad.
It's open season for Silent Gaming, as they can take all matter of shots at Bench Players' net, and it is too much time given for Silent Gaming. For a team that only barely didn't make it in the top 4 in the inaugural season, it's too much time. Bench Players, even if they learn how the Silent Gaming are playing, they definitely should have watched that. They can't possibly be given that much time to work with, so many open shots. And as the first attack from Bench Players comes and goes, it just wasn't enough. At least they're still looking slightly lively.
Italy, what's he going to do in this situation? Get a good block. That's what he's going to do. Paella blocked out by Italy. Good maneuver, but Synox holds the back line. Just going to stall this ball out, get back to net, ready for whatever attack that Bench Players throw at them. It's a good 50-50. It's better than good. It is great. Putting on so much pressure. Unfortunately, Synox can't get that hit to set up Italy in the center. Good read by Syntax as he reacts to the ball. Italy up into the air. Wants to get that off the wall and maybe block this out towards the center. Good read by Mysors to get onto it. Syntax has to stall for time. Synox thinking better off. Make sure to hold that back line as he is the only member back. He is not going to get punished for it.
Bench players trying to start their own attacks. Finally, they have brought the ball out of their own half, because for the starting 2 or so minutes, it was all Silent Gaming, all in bench players' half, trying all the different maneuvers and really showing how open the defensive bench player is. Right now, though, they're starting their own attempts at a little bit of a passing play, bringing the ball closer to the net of Silent Gaming. Not succeeding just yet, but an inkling of hope is still there. As Silent Gaming approaches their defense quite carefully. They don't want to risk too much against the bench player squad, who is eager for a goal right now.
Well, you got to think, if you're Silent Gaming here, you're 2 goals up, Jam. You're just going to be like, okay, we can just stall this out. We don't have to force anything. We just got to make sure that our rotations are slick and solid, and that we are clearing each and every ball away. And hopefully there's going to be an opening somewhere to make this a 3-0 for us.
Yeah, seemingly previously they found those openings pretty easily, and right now, as you said, they don't need to risk waiting it out. Maybe not, there's still 2 minutes left, but at least not rushing into the bench players half head first without thinking about the consequences.
You got to think, when you got a team that's just purely focusing on defense and good rotations here and not creating those goals, it makes it a lot harder to actually get those goals yourself. Bench players struggling to get this close to their opponent's net. Syntax with a good back pass. Clever choice, putting it all the way out to Synox. Fortunately, couldn't keep up with the ball. Good interception from Karatash. That's a great little pop, but not communicated to the teammate.
Seeming a little bit too much oomph on that pass from Karash. His teammate was already waiting down in the flanks, but too far out. And Sound Gaming were reading that pass as well. And the moment the opportunity came, they cleared it pretty quickly. As bench players attempt once again fails just slightly. Defense working out strong, but after those 2 goals were already conceded, bench players are looking at a defeat with 60 seconds remaining.
Rotations from bench players are getting a bit better though, Jam. You look at this, they're making sure they've got 1 player always ready to go back into the defense, and they've always got 2 players near enough pressure in the situation into the attacks. They're looking a lot stronger. The problem is, it took them a while to look strong, and they dropped those 2 early goals as a consequence.
Now, thankfully for them, despite the 3rd goal coming in, it is a series of 3 wins, best of 5. So even if Silent Gaming win this one, bench players, if they indeed could adapt to this, they will be able to bring the series back into their favor. And the first game, though, isn't exactly looking like it's their chance right now. It will take them a really it will take them a really long time to adapt, continue adapting, and Silent Gaming will just have more time to play their normal game. Right now, for bench players, just get that 1 goal. That will be the best they can hope for right now for game number 1.
I'm actually looking quite pleased with how bench players have come out and sorted their game. Like you said, in the early stages, they've gone all bad, but what they've done since the halfway mark has been quite good for them as they get this pop-up. Look at that, stalling for time, getting the boost, able to play into this, but this is the problem. Build-up, just handing it straight over to their opponent's Jam.
You know, right now, really still not working out for them, and you can see that Silent Gaming are playing so deep so that the bench players couldn't even start a proper attack with an advantage. You know, it's always 3 versus 3, and Silent Gaming just want to keep this down, want to keep this square and, well, not square, but completely clean for themselves. And I think that's exactly what they did. They play a clean, solid game. Really, I couldn't point any mistakes from the Silent Gaming side, while on the bench players, yeah, it has been way too open in the beginning, and even later when they closed it down, the chances up front weren't showing up for them. So as a result, bench players come out with this with only 2 shots to their name. And besides that, really nothing to be said about their game. If that improvement continues in game number 2, though, Sound Gaming will be in a little bit of a more hot water than been in game 1 that has been squarely in their favor.
Yeah, for me, bench players worked out their defense. That is good. But their attacks, they seem like they're too eager just to put on a shot on net, aren't they, Jam? They've got to work towards it. If we look at the current state of Rocket League, you can't just hit the ball at net and it's going to be a goal. No, you have to actually pull out a couple of defenders, maybe a couple of backboard hits, of course, a little bit of passing play in between, and then create the opportunity to put that shot on. Because if you're just popping the ball from anywhere, the only time you can actually pop the ball from anywhere is when it's on your own back line and you've got the attack pushed forward, sort of overcommitted. Then if you get that opportunity, you can go for that shot, but those are so rare.
Yeah, shots do appear. There are some positions that you can, if you're rotating properly, waiting the bounces and rebounds, then you can get in a spot where you can indeed just boom it. straight at the net, but for bench players to break down that organized defense of Sound Gaming, they indeed need to employ more of these passes. Or Sound Gaming are just maybe you can just show off and do a little bit of a freestyle aerial play and bring the ball in. Didn't get a goal for them, but at least it looked pretty nice.
Hyala goes up for the ball, just going to keep this lingering about in the middle. Good attempt at a block from Mysels, but Italy gets the follow through. Syntax blocked out as well. Hit high from Synox, and Mysels doing very good work to push this over to the corner. Unfortunately, didn't expect the rush that comes through. Syntax with the block as well, just gets the ball in the net and job's done for the first goal.
Oh, slight confusion from both of the teams. Karash misses the important clear, and I think Bella was called off. Bella didn't even go for that ball, which should have been cleared by two of the bench players. Instead, nobody gets it in the end, and even with the last player, Mazers coming in and trying to put this any stop to the ball, now the Syntax was in the right position. He could not have scored that. It will be absolutely impossible to miss that.
Yeah, for those that see it in chat as well, there's a little bug going on with the UI of Rocket League at the moment. If you're a spectator, and there's a little bug in the defense. This may only be the beta side of bench players, but they need to be the full release by the end of this game if they want to win.
Synox has been bugging the defense of bench players for a long time, and really the defense of any of the teams in the TCS eSports League. He is the top scorer for his team, and he's also actually the top saver for not only his own team, but overall in league, tied with Badmong from the Mon squad, who we'll be seeing much later in the day. So he is an all-around player right now that we're looking for those goals, as does Syntax. And really, they're looking, if not closer, then pretty much at the same pace from the game number one. Same attacks, same threat from a Sound Gaming as we see them. It has not diminished. And the game number two seems like more of the same from the Sound Gaming than what was in the game number one.
Hyala with a good clear up to the center, but Italy reads it so well. The spacing from Silent Gaming very good at the moment. Karatash blocked by Syntax. Syntax trying to get a cheeky little follow-through goal once again in this game. Karatash not reading that perfectly, but a good follow-through from Mysels. Italy with the pressure on. This needs to be kept away, and Syntax does good of it. Bumps coming out as well. Ayala just gets high and into his opponent's space. They're not trying to buy ground. The problem is that they've got to keep this pressure going. It's good from Mysels here. The defense is not being pulled enough. They need to get a bump, a demo or something, Jam, because these rotations are too solid at the moment. There's nothing threatening them.
Yeah, seemingly, if the bench players are not really used to that kind of play style, just trying to weave a bump or demolition forcefully into their rotations might actually cause them more problems than good. But seemingly it is indeed that for the really precise... Oh, no. Another drop comes in now. It's Syntax one more time. But they need to do much more to that defensive Sound game, because right now their own defense is being pulled apart as chances are appearing one after the other, and Sound Gaming are really bossing the airplay, while as bench players stay firmly on the ground and get punished.
That's quite clever from Syntax there as well, where they've been going for those passing plays initially, or just the forced up straight shots. Going for a solo play like that just changes things up. It's unexpected. You can see Karatash did have to react to it, but unfortunately he was just a little bit off from it, and it's all coming down to him having to react upon his opponents. Silent Gaming are running the show here. It definitely shows their caliber of skill and why they're campaigning right now to stay in the TCS eSports League. They're showing that even though, you know, they got into Season 1 by the dropout of Juicy Kids, they made their presence known in Season 1, and they are rightfully shown here that they should be sticking around for Season 2. You cannot get rid of Silent Gaming easily.
Yeah, if the people previously has been questioning why Silent Gaming is in the league because they didn't perhaps deserve it, right now they're showing exactly why they are deserving. Still, there are stronger teams in TCS eSports League, but Silent Gaming right now on the field against bench players are proving well they should be staying in. And this, the game number 2, again, should squarely go in favor of Silent Gaming. This has been their control. Bench players still only managing 2 shots. And while there's still a solid minute left on the clock, bench players couldn't show... Ooh, that's their Seemingly, that's one of their best attempts so far, but you could see not enough threat. There's just one shot. We go, ooh, and there's nothing after that. No follow-up. That's all they can muster in one attack, and then it just completely breaks them.
Yep, all we're getting is Ooze. We're not getting the R's here. 40 seconds remaining, and still no goal scored from the side of bench players. They need to find one soon, otherwise this could be the perfect sweep beginning for the Silent Gaming side. Just look at all this pressure that they're building up in their opponent's half. Rotation sticking solid. Syntax realizes the threat, is able to line up and basically puts himself in a great position to block Paella into a dribble. So little boost, no control. He's handing that off to the middle, trying to find another teammate, but time is not in their favor. The ball, as soon as it touches the ground or goes into a net, here's the end of game, and Silent Gaming is taking game number 2 and moving on to match point. Jam, I'm a little bit scared for bench players right now, buddy.
I mean, you should be. Your heart said that you should be trusting and believing in the bench players. And I mean, heart is a thing that sometimes does these silly things. If you still believe it, if you still believe in them, that's good. But it's just not looking likely. Bench players' playstyle seemingly lags behind what Silent Gaming is doing. Every single time you see bench players in control of the ball, in their defense or in the offense, it's always a little bit uncertain, a little bit shy, and I wouldn't exactly call them perhaps even the TCS eSports League caliber. It's just all the rotations they're getting in each other's way. Their callouts are sometimes non-existent. They constantly are crossing paths, and even their technical control is a little bit off for my liking.
Guys in chat, you have seen the spam. I just posted it myself. Spam the Heartbleed to help the Swede. That is my source. If you want to give bench players all your energy, go and spam that because they need it now more than ever. A reverse sweep. Is it incoming, Jam? All the hearts are going to be needed, my dude, because this is game number 3, match point, Silent Gaming, yet to be scored upon. They could have the perfect day for them. You know, not even receiving a goal and staying in TCS. That is Christmas come early for these lads.
That's pretty darn early Christmas. They're later Christmases, but this one be pretty early indeed. I don't think anyone celebrates it as early, but hey, a present for me. Silent Game will say thank you very much. And we'll take a right here. Also, for those League of Legends fans, I think you can also spawn Tom Kench to help the bench. Ooh, Synox. Ooh, there's another follow-up. There's Syntax, and we're getting the oohs, but not the ahs. Silent Gaming can find the opening goal in the opening minutes.
No, they cannot. It's good defense, I will say, from the boys in orange. Bench players are just sticking at it. Synox taking it off to the corner, trying to link up with it and realizes he's got to stick onto it. Got Syntax towards the middle. There's the infield pass, but not the perfect shot. You can see once again they can regain control of this ball and just keep it away. It is just that difference in mechanical skill, I do believe here, Jam, and the confidence in each other as a team.
Yeah, it's specifically that. When you see bench players approach the ball, it's often a couple of awkward touches, sometimes a little bit too slow to react even to the play unfolding. When Silent Gaming is playing, they go to the ball with a purpose. And as a result, they quickly move the ball around, they quickly move themselves around the field and get themselves in a position. While as bench players, it seems that they're still figuring out just a little bit how exactly does it go.
Awkward little hit, but Meisels does put it off to the side, trying to make his opponents work for a goal here. And Synox did try to do a bit of work. Unfortunately, he's only going to get a D on that. It's an unfinished job. He needs to come back later and finish that one off. Ball up into the air. Who's going to be the first onto it? Syntax looking for the bouncing play. Once again, Syntax doesn't go for the easy, straightforward goals. He likes to put a little bit of style, doesn't he?
Right now, perhaps he needs just a solid working man's goal. Styling, yes, they're up in series by 2 there in match point, but right now it's the first time that Silent Gaming hasn't scored a goal before the halftime, so they really need to be looking for one in all the normal ways. And bench players are now much more solid. Yeah, there's a little bit of imprecision from Silent Gaming as well, but previously that didn't stop them. Right now, bench players are stopping their opponents. Unfortunately for them, you also need to score on the other side of the field, and this is still a big, big struggle.
Yeah, it is definitely that third man from bench is sticking way too far back, I would say, to get any real goal scoring opportunities. But their defense is looking solid. It's held them at 0-0. We could be seeing a 1-0 game here. A little mistake coming out, but Myzel's there to clean up. Instantly intercepts. Demo from Karatash onto Syntax. Hopefully that's just enough to thwart this attack, and it is. Karatash chasing onto it. Fortunately, a good hit from Syntax will get it past two players. Karatash getting the demo onto Italy, trying again to weaken the attack, and it does do a very good job of that. Karatash pulling out these demos is helping his side stay afloat. No one there to pick that up, Jam. It's doing me a hassling, buddy.
Well, you don't expect your opponents who have been previously playing pretty, if not perfectly, then pretty well, to suddenly make a mistake like that. You just don't commit your players upfield that much. And bench players are also not taking any risks, but boy, are they taking the names and kicking some of the, oh my goodness, Italy carefully removes the ball straight from the way of one of the bench players. Wow, this is getting close for Silent Gaming. They must not feel comfortable at this point. This is as close as they've gotten so far to conceding a goal. Definitely, they do not like it. Italy, though, drops previously have been pretty efficient for Silent Gaming, but even the bench players right now are slowly rising into the air to stop all the attempts of Silent Gaming already up there rather than down below.
You talk about the players being uncomfortable, and I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now with these misses. Like, and the problem is it all comes down to that follow-through, man. The second needs to be ready. A half rotate could fix that, but then you're starting to pull the defense into question. The bench players are walking on coals here, and it just seems a little bit too hot to handle. You know, they can't keep it in order. Paella up into the air. Synox, a good block, but this is on target. A good little pop from Karatash, but Syntax puts the heat back on. Italy looking to just get this off to the side, and does find Synox, but Synox can't find a teammate. Karatash, great opportunity now. 9 seconds of the game. Can he line this up into the center? The clear away. Paella wanted to just get this ball to hit the ground, but the attack continues. Italy blocked by Myzel's. Ball hits the ground, and in game 3, we have an overtime.
Now, you guessed it, Bacon. It will be a 1-0 game, but first we need to go through the overtime. Well, as bench players, well, again, this is their game to lose almost, and also their game to steal from Sound Game, because even in game number 3, really, they didn't exactly wake up 100%. So as it looks for them right now, they perhaps won't be able to win the whole series, but taking just one game off their opponents and in a little cheeky fashion will be a pretty good occasion for them.
It's a good boot downfield and a great follow-up hit from Syntax. He puts it off to Synox. Synox closing this down very good. Syntax up in the air. He's just got to get a cheeky little hit, but it's interrupted. Bench players are looking so much better in game number 3, but it's a little too late. We'll have to find out. They need to get the goal here. They need to get their first goal of the series, and they have got 2 men attacking the net. Unfortunately, that ball is just absolutely yeeted across the net. Synox was doing very good to get the hit, putting on a little bit of pressure, but here the pressure is just let off. They cannot do that. They're allowing the beast into their side of the pitch, and well, they have got their fangs out and are just tearing them at you. Good hit from Paella, puts that away. Myzel's wanting to continue it. Italy up to midfield. This is Karatash. He needed a player in midfield lined up ready to receive that, but no one there. Paella does get a very good clearance away though, and this is one of the tensest games of Rocket League I have cast in a fair bit of time.
Well, and it's getting only tenser than that. For bench players, they need to keep their defense solid, and one great counterattack will do them, well, words of good. If Silent Gaming go too hard, if they decide to commit all the 3 players and don't get anything from that one, and that's the whole putting all eggs in one basket.
Yes!
Just one. All they needed was just on 2 shots, perhaps. That was only bench player's 2nd attempt at a net, but as Italy goes too hard, as Syntax goes too late, bench players and Karash, first goal for his team, and it's a winner in game number 3.
boys, we have a game on our hands. Is the first goal, the first game is won by the bench players. GG's in chat. They know how hard they have had to work for that. Silent Gaming recognize how hard they had to work for that. But Jam, do you think they have enough energy, enough fuel in the tank to carry that through 2 more games to get the reverse sweep, buddy?
Well, it's an equation that has 2 parts. First of all, bench players need to believe in themselves and continue this road of self-improvement. I'll have to agree that in game number 3, they did look slightly better. Even if the stat line does say slightly otherwise, they have been much more active. Their defense has tightened up all the nuts and bolts. But also on the other side, Silent Gaming suddenly needs to completely drop off the radar. Suddenly go from the team that went 3-0, 3-0 in first 2 games to oh my god, how do we even play Rocket League? Confusion like that might happen, but for Silent Gaming, the team that has endured all 14 weeks of TCS eSports League, and while they didn't go too far, oh my goodness, straight from the kickoff, all right. I might have questioned bench players before, but with the fire in their bellies that they have right now, they might as well have it.
The Orange and Palumpas of the bench players, they've got this factory working and they are churning out the goals now. It took a while, maintenance was required, Jam, but these goals, they're definitely sweet.
Bench players unbenching themselves as we speak, and game number 4 starts squarely in their favor. That was bench players' best start, best 15 seconds so far, and seemingly that has been giving them wings. And there are a couple of wings. Oh, that's an open goal. You don't want to help Palia. As tasty as Palia might sound, you don't want to just put the ball straight in your own net. As ball, oh, this is horrible. This is Italy, Syntax, and Synox in the net, missing 3 misses in a row. Silent Gaming has not been missing so far in previous games, and all of a sudden, all 3 of the players shut down.
Chat, I think the hearts worked. Your contributions do matter. Bench players now with the answer, and it is no longer sitting back in defense. They have to attack. Good interception from Karatash. He gets this round to the corner. Syntax pops this high and gets the second follow-through one. Straight past Italy goes Paella, but Synox holds the back line. He is the rear guard, the tank in the net, and you cannot beat him when he's at his best. Syntax off to the wall. Paella keeps it to the corner. Synox lining this up for a teammate, but no one there quick enough to receive it, and Karatash clears it away.
Bench players still keeping the control of the game. Silent Gaming, oh, another shot comes in, I'm saying that. Bench players completely turn the whole thing around. It's now Silent Gaming, despite all their beautiful... I just can't. My big mouth and my tongue just... I'll keep quiet. Silent Gaming finally, after 90 seconds of play, finally figure out a passing play, and boy, was it a beaut, and it immediately materializes in 1 goal for them.
Hey Jam, it's a cursed stream, okay buddy? Just accept it. We started off bad, it all picked up. It's really picked up for bench players, and the curse just has to linger, okay buddy? You're the one paying the price here.
The good news is, though, from this point on, it can only get better, and right now it's getting better by every minute, as this has turned into a show. And the bench players currently are in the spotlights, but perhaps they wouldn't want to be. Now they're playing from a leading position. Now, for the first time, we can finally see how well they can keep a lead going.
Ball lingering in front of net. Italy blocked by Mysors. Karatash needs to do the same, but unfortunately for him, it's looking a little bit too strong. Great clearance coming out there. Synox with a bit of time and a good bit of control. Gets over to Italy, who can clear it away. Syntax charges on, boots the ball downfield, finds Italy, back to Syntax, back to Italy. This was a 1-2, a 3, and a 4.
They almost started a parade with that one. Paella, unfortunately, has to guess, and that's why you don't shoot constantly on the net straight on forward. That's why you pass, because you could see in the middle of all those passing plays, Paella just going left, right, up, center. Where do I even go in this situation? At some point, ball just completely went past Paella and behind. and still Pilot couldn't figure out how on earth do I defend that one. As a result, Silent Gaming tie up this one and show, all right, you scored a couple goals. Now let's see, let us show how well we can score goals. And they're getting better by every minute. For the bench players, this is a very loud alarm call. They need to wake up. Well, they need to continue be awake, I was thinking about after those starting minutes. Silent Gaming came up into this back strong. They won. They're still at match point, though. One game for them will be all. For bench players, there's still a long, long way to the top.
Yeah, I'm thinking after that original opening. That's high, Synox. Perfect hit, perfect shot. And now, back to the lead for Silent.
It's a simple enough play, but it's another pass, and once again, seemingly the Silent Gaming reaction times are so much faster than bench players. They are not recognizing these plays as they happen. From Silent Gaming, seemingly it's their second nature. They are playing together. They know where to go, where these balls, and they're expecting these plays to happen.
Fortunate whiff from Synox. Did get it out, but unfortunately this is super dangerous. And you don't get any more dangerous than that, Jam.
You just snoozed for one single moment. And oh, Italy. I think he pushed it well, straight past Misers to the left side. But Misers were still there, and straight from the middle, as Silent Gaming were rotating themselves into the attack, puts a long-range effort, as nobody was home for Silent Gaming. Everyone was out at work, just minding their own business, and nobody home.
Yeah, this is the exact reason why I ripped the snooze button off my alarm clock, Jam, because I do not ever want to get caught in a situation like this where you just go back to sleep a little bit. Nice little attack from Misers. Italy and Syntax both going up for the ball, but neither of them really committing to it. Synox holds up the rear guard, as he always does. A lot of time for Misers to boot this. He tried to line up for Paella, trying to find open space. Pilot does receive it in the end, but unfortunately not good enough. Karatash looking for the pop on over, but Misers back out of it. Commitment is definitely an issue for the bench players. They are scared. They are wary of their opponents. They just need to get a little bit more aggressive, I'm saying, with the second man. The third is perfectly positioned here from Paella to get onto it, but now Misers lucky that he had so much space to approach into that on.
Yeah, and really he should have approached that much early. Decided to opt to go for the boost back at his own side of the field. And so as a result, bench players' attack just breaks down a little bit. Whoa, the precision that was there. Do not kick that into your own net, Silent Game. You've already done that once. All of the cars getting into the pile in front of them, but now a strong shot brings the ball straight back to the bench player's side. That was the attack. Oh, and there's another one. It's continuation. Do not leave the ball like that. Everyone's making so many interesting moves, I have to say, but everyone is still tied. Oh, there's an opportunity as Synox going straight in overtime one more time. Are you excited, Bacon? Because I am excited. Ants in a pan situation right now.
I'm anxious. That's what I am. Another overtime. It don't do my little old heart any good. The stress here is monumental. As we said before, a goal from Silence sends them back into the TCS eSports League, back into Season 2. A goal here sends us to game number 5. Like, I just don't know what to really think of this situation. Words befuddle me. Drop down of the ball. Synox looking for a pass, but unfortunately not a teammate to find it. A good back pass, a good hit, but too high. As the crossbar denies everything. The Guardian Angel from the bench players still watching over them. Misers. Great 50-50, but an even better follow through from Synox. Seeds that away, pops the ball up in the air. Not enough boost from the bench players. Good hold back in net from Misers. Pyre needs to intercept this first, but Silent Gaming are 50-50 in their way through. They are just basically forcing everything here.
Well, right now, they do not want to be forcing anything for such a long time. Nobody in the defense from bench players had any boost, and Silent Gaming just weren't pushing quickly enough. But I think their approach would work in the end. Just gather themselves, and get an opportunity with a roller on the wall. As Silent Gaming finally decide to put a period in the series, as another play just goes as a knife through the butter of all of the defense of bench players. Italy get himself a couple of goals on the board. He has been quiet since the first game, but now he has scored the all-important clincher for Silent Gaming as they stay in the TCS eSports League for the second season.
It was a very good match that in the end. Like we said, the first 2 games are a little bit too easy for Silent Gaming. Bench players got warmed up. So much potential in this squad. This level of Rocket League that we just saw on the pitch was what I was expecting for them coming into last week, Jam. Can you see why I thought they were going to come out top 2 of last week now? And
Yes.
It was unfortunate it took them too long. But this is one of the hurdles that they're going to have to come over. They've got to requalify through the Challenger Cups and come back in Season 3. It's unfortunate for them, but if they really want to go pro, if they really, really want to be in the TCS eSports League, they have to work for it. They have to grind away. And so we have to say goodbye to them for now, I suspect. They'll be back later. Silent Gaming, though, they're going to be back. Coming into, is it late January? Do we have a date, Raf, in the background? Can you say on over to us, buddy? That we can, that they're basically going to come back into Season 2, which of course is pretty awesome sources. We get to see more of them, Jam.
And they finally proved that they deserve to be in TCS. With this performance, despite it going down slightly, they still bounced back. And so as a result, Silent Gaming will be your first. It sounds so weird. It will be the first
returning team?
Yeah, the first returning team, the first 5th team. Sounds so very weird, but that's how the TCS eSports League rolls. And it's a pretty great setup. A little bit of change of faces, giving new teams the opportunity to really get through. Bench Players wasn't one of those teams, but maybe, just maybe, the next teams that will be on the stream is, of course, the Withmasters versus different esports. Different esports get their chance to dethrone the team that has been previously playing in TCS eSports League.
Yep, so that's going to be the next game up on the stream. So guys, don't go anywhere unless, of course, it is to pop down to the kitchen, grab yourself a snack and a drink, because the next game is going to be just as epic as that one. This has been TCS eSports League, and we'll see you after this break.